Very good evening to one and all present here. Today I am going to talk about brain connection of ovaries. Now, under my topic today, I will be discussing about the how changes in the ovaries may lead to changes in the brain. Okay? Especially about the effect of PCO conditions like PCOS, which is a very common endocrine problem in females, and how it is going to affect our cognition. So as you can see, all of you can see the women doing multitask. So every day, where women has to finish a lot of errands, and multitasking requires a very good cognition level. Now, how if because of any reason the cognition gets affected, how the quality of life on a daily basis or doing simple tasks on a daily basis will be affected, which may lead to a poor quality of life. So it may sound to be maybe different or why it is so important, but there are studies and there are still researches going on which say that if the ovaries because of the some or the other reason gets affected, or there is some any dysfunction, it may affect the cognitive level of for women. Now now I have a set of questions for the audience. Like, usually when PCOS conditions like PCOS, which is the subjective to ovaries, comes to mind, the first thing will be like infertility, menstrual irregularities, obesity, and other metabolic issues will come to mind, which has to be dealt with. But cognition, it becomes a big question mark. So there are so many now. Before starting and going into detail, I would like all of you to have these questions. I would like all of you to answer these questions to yourself, and at the end of the discussion, maybe again you can just look back and see whether whether it should be included in our daily assessment basis, the cognitive aspect, or not. So the questions like, does the problem in brain lead to issues in ovaries and vice versa? Does PCOS have any impact on cognition? And if there is an impact, should it be considered while assessing the PCOS? Or does cognitive changes affects the quality of life in PCOS? Means is it very substantial change, or that if the changes are like can be ignored, or what to what extent the changes are occur, whether it's necessary to include or not? So there are so many questions. Here are the list of contents which I will be discussing today. That is I'll be introducing about my topic, then there are a few literature reviews, then discussion, and then finally comes the conclusion. Now, why I have chosen this topic? Because as I said before, conditions like PCOS, when comes to mind, there are so many things which which overshadows the this cognition aspect, is conditions like infertility, then irregular periods, cardiovascular problems, obesity, excessive hair growth, etc. There are so many other things, and this cognition becomes a silent suffering. So I would like to explain uh, this in more in detail by showing you two my my experiences with my clients, two of the case studies. So here comes the case study one, where a female who is 38-year-old and having PCOS since 10 years, is obese, has thyroid, borderline diabetes, has history of conceiving after treatment, complaints of sleeplessness, difficulty in concentrating, getting stressed, mood swings, tends to forget frequently, and phobia about the health issues. Now if a client like this comes to even for physiotherapy, for exercise part also, what we would be focusing more is like the first aspect, since when the menstrual irregularity is there, or how long she has not conceived, or how what are the treatments she's undergoing, how long she is having PCOS. But the last two lines, if you see the signs and symptoms like difficulty in concentrating, getting stressed, mood swings, uh, tends to forget frequently, phobia about the health issues. These things are they're considered to be a byproduct. Okay, because she's not able to conceive, because she's having changes inside her body, she may be worried. But that is coming because of the brain changes in the brain. That is gradually affecting the brain. Slowly it starts to affect the our thinking process, the higher intellectual functions. And this particular condition, if you see case study 2, is 30-year-old female married since 2 years, diagnosed PCOS, irregular menstruation, obese, infertility issue, emotionally disturbed, frequently forgets things, unable to concentrate, and lack of family support. So this particular female is overloaded with emotions. She is having her personal sufferings. And apart from the things which she is undergoing through the changes inside her body, her brain, and there is a social pressure as well to deliver the child. So it's not that point is it's not that only other aspects has to be assessed. The cognitive aspects, the sound cognition, the sound thinking process has to be, it's very important for a good quality of life. That was my point. So why, that's the reason why I have chosen this topic. Now I'll be giving a brief introduction about PCOS cognition and what are the role of hormones and how this hormonal imbalance is going to affect the brain and what are the cognitive changes which is very common in PCOS. Now most of us we know what is PCOS. It is a hormonal disorder that affects the 5 to 10% women of reproductive age and remains the most enigmatic reproductive disorder characterized by hyperandrogenism, ovulatory dysfunction, and polycystic ovaries. It was first identified by Steen-Levenshtein in 1935, so it is also called as Steen-Levenshtein syndrome. And according to WHO, there are nearly as many as 116 million women around the globe who are affected with PCOS. Now, most studies in India report the prevalence of PCOS as 9.13 to 36%. According to Boucher and colleagues, characterize PCOS as a heterogeneous condition. So it is usually because it is having so many signs and symptoms of infertility, hirsutism, obesity, amenorrhea, insulin resistance, increased androgen levels. Uh, According to Shatman and Shirwin, concluded that PCOS women show poorer results on the cognitive tasks compared to non-PCOS women. Now, in PCOS women, there are circulatory androgens, which may negatively and positively modulate the gamma aminobutyric acid and N-methyl D-aspartate systems, respectively. Now, let's talk about the cognition. Cognition is nothing but a higher mental function. It includes language, attention, working memory, executive functioning, manual dexterity, processing speed. There are so many domains of cognitions. If all these aspects are sound, the person will have a sound cognitive system and hence a better quality of life. Now, by now, all of us know that it's a hormonal imbalance problem. PCOS is a hormonal imbalance problem. Then before we go into the detail, let's talk about the role of the hormones. What are hormones? They are like a communication between the brain and the body, right? They act as a chemical messengers. These hormones have profound effect on brain functioning, which and if there is any kind of problem or hormonal imbalance, which may lead to changes in the mood, memory, and learning process in the women. The brain relies significantly on proper hormone balance in order to function appropriately. If there is an imbalance of hormones, it will drastically affect the brain's chemistry and the communication between the brain cells. Now, the hormones, which steroid hormones, which are released by the ovaries, they are believed to act by several different mechanisms, and it has got a greater impact on the central nervous system. There is a classic genomic mechanism in which the steroids bind to the intracellular receptors to modulate the transcription and protein synthesis. During the past decade, it has been shown that steroids can also produce rapid effects on the synaptic activity, the neurotransmission process, the CNS. The most obvious task of these hormones, steroid hormones, is to govern the fertility process by influencing the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. I will repeat this. This is a very important term which will be, coming across frequently. Hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. The CNS acts both as a source and a target of these sex steroids and of their metabolites. Memory and learning, balance, and pain perception are some of the several CNS functions that have been implied to be modulated by ovarian steroids. If we talk about the hormones released by the ovaries, estrogen, progesterone, androgen. So this functions of estrogen, if you see, is it enhances the synaptic plasticity, helps in neuritic growth, hippocampal neurogenesis, long-term potentiation, influences the several neurotransmitter systems like acetylcholine, serotonin, noradrenaline, and glutamate. Modulates the neural activity during performance and cognitive tasks. Now, testosterone, because I will talk about the elevated levels in as such, the androgens are released in all the females, but in a lesser quantity. In case of PCOS, these levels will increase. Now, this increased testo-free T levels may be associated with poor cognitive performance, and we know that the cognition of male and female differs. So there are some factors which females are good at. Female have advantage, and males certain aspects the males are good at. But the female advantage factors are compromised in case of these PCOS women because of the impact of androgens. Now I spoke about the role of the hormones. Now what if there is an imbalance created in these hormones? Definitely their roles also will be getting affected. Now we saw in our previously that it has got so great impact on the neurogenesis, synaptic transmission, and it has a role to play and greater impact on the CNS. If the imbalance is created, definitely the impact will be there, or imbalance will be there in the CNS as well. So the driving force behind the gonadotropin releasing hormone and luteinizing hormone output relies upon the complex balance between and timing of stimulatory and inhibitory inputs to gonadotropin releasing hormone neurons. Women with PCOS expose alteration in both GnRH and LH secretion levels. Now, as you can see here, this is a hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, and if this balance or proper regulation is very important for the smooth functioning of the body of a female when it comes to proper secretion of these steroids, and hence the normal functioning of the entire body. So this classic homeostatic feedback mechanism between the brain and the ovaries is impaired in PCOS, resulting in hyperactivity of the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis and disrupted neuroendocrine regulation of the ovary. So hypothalamic sensitivity to steroid hormones is reduced in women with PCOS. In PCOS, there is dysregulation in HPG axis, which leads to increased LH pulse, luteinizing hormones pulse frequency, which is a common, clinical feature in PCOS, and it is an indicator for neuroendocrine dysfunction. So when there is increase in LH pulse, it leads to increased serum LH levels, which will lead to increased FSH and LH ratio, and in turn it stimulates the theca cells of the ovaries to release more androgens. So because of all these factors, because the androgen levels are increasing in PCOS women, so entire there is a disruption or there is an imbalance in the normal cycle, and which may affect and have an impact on the entire body as well as the brain. So a key pathological feature of PCOS is impaired feedback of ovarian steroids hormones to the brain circuits that regulate fertility. This impaired negative feedback is thought to drive hyperactivity of neuroendocrine axis, controlling fertility, and ultimately mediate the downstream ovarian dysfunction in women. PCOS may arise from alteration in the brain circuits that regulate the fertility. This slide shows the summary of the dysregulation in HPG axis, who all are prone for it, where the exactly pathology is located, how the pathology gets set, and which neuronal populations are involved, what is the underlying mechanism, what are the consequences, and if there is any potential treatment, what are those. Now, these are few literature reviews. These are few more. Now, according to whatever we have seen before and the previous researches as well as the latest researches, there is a lot of awareness is required regarding the cognitive changes in PCOS women. And cognitive changes, now what are the importance, why it is important to know, how it can be diagnosed, how it can be detected at the earliest, and how if it is not taken care of, to what extent the quality of life would be affected for the wholesome health of the PCOS women. The cognitive should be included in the assessment part, and how it has a very important role to play in the wholesome health, because PCOS is a heterogeneous condition. So it's not only one part or one system is being affected. It affects the overall all the systems of the body, and where definitely the cognitive aspect should not be ignored. According to the Nutrition Review in 2017, which stated that polycystic ovary syndrome might originate in the brain. The researchers, according to New South Wales in Australia, showed that they did on animals, and they came to the conclusion that if the androgen receptors in the ovaries are removed, the condition can still, these mice were susceptible for getting PCOS. There are recent studies which have shown that there is a link of PCOS with working memory, and evidences suggest that women with polycystic ovary syndrome frequently struggle with mental disorders, including depression, a chief symptom of which is difficulty in concentrating, working memory, verbal fluency, manual dexterity. So at last, I would like to say that if we know about the cognitive changes at the earliest and we include in the assessment protocol, then definitely the other risk factors can uh, can be prevented. And these PCOS women, they have a higher risk, psychological risk. So definitely the screening for cognitive function should be integral part of any PCOS treatment. And definitely if we keep on charging the brain, there are set of lifestyle changes, exercises, proper assessment with which we can keep charging this brain. If there is a problem, definitely there is a solution, and if we do all these changes in the lifestyle, it can again lead to the prevention, or at least from further worsening of the condition. Now these are the list of few of my completed research topics, and there is one which is already undergoing on, and also my pilot study, which is part of my research. So this is all about the cognition in the PCOS and how the connection is there between the ovaries and the brain. And I focused on one condition. with this, the take-home message would be the acceptance of the changes, or more and more awareness about and realizing that the changes in the body or the cognitive aspect, if it happens, for the wholesome improvement of the health for the PCOS women. With this, I come to an end. Thank you. Special thanks to our HOD, Dr. P. Senthilselvam, and organizers of IPC for giving me this opportunity. Thank you once again. Any questions, please?